Hello and welcome to our review of the Mounting Yard, but we'll also do a little bit more of an extended review today, Aaron, considering the Punter Show is on Wednesday. So for those trying to tune in for the Punter Show, Wednesday mid-afternoon, we'll record it before the races due to funerals and school holidays.
I always enjoy doing a review after a big loss. It's always good fun.
Exactly right. The torture begins for you. It wasn't a good day. Good day for Mounting Yard Mail. I think Glenn tipped the first 4 winners or thereabouts, and across the board race speed profiles were all right. So that was all right. So
that was good.
If your personal, if everybody out there's watching and they had a good day, they really don't care about your personal losses. Anyway, all right. I suppose as far as the track played, Aaron, the riders were getting off the fence, but if you do the reviews and do the tapes, the horses on the fence were probably going better than the ones outside, as you would have thought, and it was a lot of the. What often happens at Rosehill when the fence is all right in that 4 metre spot, the riders just ignore it.
They do love to just get wide. All it takes is, I think, for one rider to make ground out wide, they all get out.
Or in the case of the first, which we'll have a look at the moment, was Mr. 111 winning the first down the outside. We'll talk about that in a second and how that's probably confused everyone. But it's just getting back to the track. As far as the track, it took them to, what was it, race 5 before they decided the track wasn't in the soft range anymore.
They come back.
Yeah, with every section apart from the Gloaming Stakes in 34 seconds for the last 600. I don't know if that's a rain-affected track, is it, Rob?
Yeah, I think everyone tend to think it just with the amount of stuff that gets thrown up, and it is still looking a little bit loose, but it was a 5.
Yeah, no, it was a 5. It was a 3 to 4 the whole way through.
Okay.
Yeah, God, have a look at the times.
Yeah, I would have thought.
Yeah, and the kickback's the ryegrass.
Yeah, they need to get rid of that ryegrass.
Well, it's like painting it anyway, but that's where you get confused, is kickback. No. And unless there's some big demons out the back, that track was a 3 to 4 and it wasn't anything else other than it. Anyway, the first race, Mr. 111 sat back, came to the outside, paraded really well. And it was a really good insight you got from the article you did with quoting John Sargent about the 21 days in between runs. And it's, a big tick to his running techniques.
Yeah, I think he's a master when it comes to the stayers. He knows exactly what they need. He doesn't need to train them all the exact same way. They don't need to, like the 2 weeks. Just train them as they go, and he's a happy horse when fresh and tends to race that way. I think it was just a race where there's a little bit of tactics and went slow, and then someone went there, and he just got to sit there and go. Yeah,
last shot at him. And look, I think he was sort of the progressive horse in the race, and that's where it sort of came through against Hearns Oak, which we've now seen isn't much good.
I think he was actually probably a little bit unlucky. From my point, I reckon the whole race isn't much good.
No, that's right, exactly. That's my point. Yeah. The whole race isn't much good. He's the progressive horse, and I think the margin for the rest of them may be even a little bit flattering.
Yeah, maybe. I think Nazir pulled its head off the whole way of the blinkers. It was one that needed to find bum straight away and did it, and it's pulled its head off. So I wouldn't be surprised to see either the blinkers come off or just them trying to find a bit more cover next time.
But from the Mounting Yard generally, you can't really see much upside to many of them. They all paraded really well.
They all paraded well.
Yeah, so that's the. I think that's the point from race 1. Yeah, that's right. So not a huge amount of upside from them. The second, press statement just.
I thought he'd improved dead set 4 lengths.
You thought that, yeah. We didn't think as much, but yeah.
I thought he looked a completely different horse. I thought he actually looked stronger. He looked like he'd maybe put on a little bit of condition, but actually had tightened up at the same time.
He tightened up a bit. I thought exactly where that sort of normal 2 lengths improvement, as you'd expect.
Yeah.
But anyway, he proved what we knew beforehand is that on type and on performance, that him and Exosphere are in one planet, and the rest.
What are the race speed profiles saying? Is it the Caulfield Guineas at his mercy?
I haven't seen the times from Saturday, so I'm not sure. We'll reveal that on Wednesday.
It'll be interesting.
But it's just from what he's racing in Sydney, unfortunately, he's only beating 4 or 5 horses every time. Well, this time, isn't it? Shard's paraded as he normally does, and Regis he's not a great parader, but he was.
It's probably better for him.
He was as good as he's been, I would have thought.
I thought he would have been as good as he's been.
Yep.
Leading didn't look his go, but when you've got 4 or 5 horse field.
Sometimes you got to make it, you go, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, but not much to say other than the obvious there. Emily Starr, mare, right at the top of her game. Nothing flash to look at, but she'll even improve with a break as well too.
Yeah, I think she'll come back a nicer horse. It's progressive stayer. My favourite word, progressive.
Progressive, there you go. We did see the
dominated.
advantage of the 2400 metre form in the 2400 metre race with first and third there, and Raining, which was quite well backed. I think Kingsley was behind a bit of good support for Raining, $8 into $6. But yeah, Amelie Star, nowhere to go. Are they going on with her, or what's this?
I think they'll go on.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure. I'll be interested to see where she goes. I don't know. I don't think she's going to the Metro.
No.
Because she didn't put in the nom for
Yep.
it. But I thought the two horses out of that race were first and second because she's obviously, we still don't, the sky's the limit for her currently. And I thought Bohemian Lily looked fitter, but she's still not 100% right.
Oh,
she's still doing things in the yard to say that I'm not fit.
I know. I said it on the preview show. She's running like a little slut.
She's a little bit bitchy at the moment, swishing her tail. She doesn't look 100% happy. But she hasn't tightened up. She doesn't look gay fit yet.
No. I really thought that the backup might have knocked that out of her. But if she is going to progress and do anything, she needs to get that knocked out of her, because I think she'll be up in this grade unless she drops back to one of those awful mares 1900 metre races.
I'm assuming Gay hasn't ridden the work into it yet, and that's probably what's going to happen from last start to next start, because she does want to get into the Caulfield Cup, and I'm assuming she will be getting the needle, like the yards in the legs.
There is a run there that she could improve 4 lengths.
Yeah.
Okay, and King Kishaso, he never really got the right run in transit. I hate that sort of missed the start, go forward there and that. But he was, I think, essentially disappointing because he paraded perfectly. Yeah,
he was one that I know that the stable was quite confident in. They thought he'd be going very close to winning. None of his runs have overly caught me just yet. I don't think. Well, for me, he hasn't been a horse I've been overly taken with. He's a horse I think could probably progress next prep.
I was going to say they were progressive runs that you needed Saturday to frank it. You look at the Hawkesbury run and go, okay, there's something about that's all right, but it's still a Hawkesbury.
There's something
there, a Hawkesbury heap of shit race. And then the next one was, okay, you were put to the sword. Fair enough, there's a little bit in it, but there was D-Day there. Got to say though that it was up to 2400 metres, which is not an easy thing to do. Next time we'll know a lot more about him. For
me and this prep it'd be D-Day next prep, next run.
I believe that. I can agree with you on that. Race 4, a lot. I think it's Flamboyant Lass and Tremezina are going to be a better horse than Alart, but it was a typical setup for it. Rock
she's
hard
had
fit.
3 wide without cover, but it was the fact that did they go slow in your times? I thought they went very slow. She just sat there and sitting out there, and I know everyone says Rosehill 3 wide without cover, you never want to be there. In a race shape like that, when they're going so slow, she's going to get to sit there, nothing's going to be in her way, and then she just gets to run away with it, and she wins by half a length. Tremezina got way too far back. I was surprised she got so far back from a good draw. And the other horse that I thought had no luck in the race was Ocean Temperance. It probably should have won the race. She got held up a few times. So, look, she won. She's a good bush horse. She's won well in town now. And in saying about the form, look, I think Tremezina will improve from the run, and I think Ocean Temperance is still learning about racing. And Flamboyant Lass.
Ocean Tempest still had improvement though.
Had a lot of, she still had good improvement.
Nice strong girl.
She's still learning, she's still very green, and she had a little bit of luck not go away. I think Flamboyant Lass, I wouldn't be surprised they come back into it.
Yeah, well, with the month off, with the trial, admittedly 31 days off from 1,000 to 1,400 metres. Well, she was fit.
Oh, she's very fit. One thing you did see though was that hoof filler, and it was taking up a big portion of the hoof.
Yeah, fair enough. Oh yeah, so that's obviously a concern going forward. But as far as fitness goes, Flamboyant Lass, I mean, I know you got to factor some in for the big step up in distance and the gap between runs. But looking at her, you wouldn't see you wouldn't see where there's much improvement with her physically. That's for sure. She looked great. And Tremezina still had some upside. It's a typical sort of not a singled out sort of type, isn't it? Not that we talk about much on breeding, but they've got a.
I think she's a nice shape.
They've got a sort of a half nice shape, but then again, it might be a half not nice shape as well too.
One thing with her, because a lot of those, the real nice shapes are those generally, a lot of the time, of those sprinters. She's that horse that kind of looks. I think she'll end up being a miler, and I think that's why she's a little bit thinner, and she's she's strong without being really. Yeah,
but they are sort of weird. They're weird things sometimes, those ones.
Interesting to look at.
Yeah, Vanbro is a lovely horse to look at. He has been, and I think Chris Waller hit the nail on the head that dry tracks are essential for him. But there isn't much guts to this race. It's the I think when everybody's been running 34.5, if you believe the times or thereabouts, throughout the day, they've come home in 35.7. It really is a bit of a race to the bottom, but they're going to be. He'll go up favourite in a Group 1 race in 2 weeks time.
Yeah, it was a very disappointing race to watch.
Yeah.
But he's been one that, like I said, I found early, thought he was going to be a really nice horse, but I think getting over more of a trip's his go. But
is it, or is he just the least slowest out of? I mean, you got to. So Tush has gone. He's had 100 goes.
Yeah.
Man of Choice came from a Kembla win. Gold Ambition.
One thing that I could say about probably Gold Ambition and like Devil Hawk, I think they want them to go fast, go a little bit faster and grind, because they're not sitting sprint horses. They haven't got the turn of like some sort of turn of foot like him, and that's not going to suit them. So I think going up in trip while they're young will suit them.
Yeah.
Like getting out to those derby trips.
Yeah, I think what happens there is that they're going up in trip and everybody's going pretty slow, and it's a bit of a race to the bottom. Yeah, and I don't think there's much else of that. They might be
the top 2 horses of the race to the bottom.
Yeah, that's exactly right. The least slowest. But as far as conditioning goes,
thing with the reason I think that it wasn't an overly hard track was because horses like Devil Hawk, he needs a rock hard track, and you could tell that he was still floundering a bit on Saturday, in my opinion.
Okay. I just think they're slow. But as far as condition goes, Van Brent's been perfect for a long time. To Tush.
No, I don't think he's been perfect for a long time. I think he's come good in his last 2 starts.
You think so? I think he's.
I thought he looked a lot better this last 2 starts, and he's really come good now. And Chris seems must have the key to him.
To Tush is holding it great. He looked fantastic.
Yeah, he looks unreal.
For a horse that had run. And Man of Choice is actually a really nice type, isn't it?
Yeah.
And strong and fit. There's not really much to say about them. They're all pretty much fine.
Yep.
Race 6. This is probably the most interesting mounting yard race of the day, with Catkins just not looking sprightly.
No, she's going to look just a little bit dull.
Yeah, I mean she's never a panicker in the yard, but it's just those little finite things you can pick up by looking at them all the time. And I suppose Catkins is a horse that we've had a lot of looks at over the last 12 to 18 months or thereabouts, and she's always relaxed, but she was a lot more relaxed than she normally was, to the point of almost saying she was listless, and just it was a sign that she was feeling a bit flat, and she's raced that way.
Yeah, she kind of just looked. She even looked, I wouldn't say dull in the coat, but she didn't have the exuberance.
No, she normally comes in and just is really aware and is whatever, but she was almost asleep. She sort of gave off past Glenn and I and gave us the looks. It's like, you're here again, I'm here again. Do we really want to be here? Yeah. Said, hi, darling, how are you?
I'd be interested to see what Chris does with her.
Yeah, well,
whether she just will she just bounce back?
I mean, she did smash it numbers wise first up, and that was a run within 2 weeks. So there's every chance that was a flat run.
Yep. She did get beat last year in the same race as well. Could be just following a pattern. Maybe she does run flat second up now. So.
Yeah, especially when she smashes it out too. Yeah. Like she did smash it out first up. I mean, that was a fast run race. She's really lengthened, but
Could she have blinkers on her next start possibly? Sharpen her up?
Maybe, but I don't know if she's physically flat. I don't know if blinkers are gonna.
Yeah, get her there.
Yeah. Because I don't think you can ever question her attitude, can you?
No, she always it wasn't like it was a horrendous run. It was a run.
She struggled. She wasn't feeling right. Yeah. Anyway, but that can often get the cobwebs out. Peeping was as good as it's looked all prep, Aaron.
Well, she was one that looked horrendous first up when she won, and she's one that's actually improved.
Yeah.
I thought she looked a lot better.
Oh.
Must have started eating at home or something.
Yeah, that's right. Because she paraded very thin and just was, as you said, awful first up. So it was a good effort to be able to win off that. Second up made a little bit of improvement. Third up, bang, there he is.
Yeah, she looked a lot better.
Yeah, and key to her is getting a bit of a slower pace early as well too. So that always helps her. It busts her up a bit if she has to do anything too hard. Berry Delicious, the slightly sweet. They're both okay, weren't they? And
I think, like you said, they went a little bit slow early and the horses out the back to point as suited. That could be part of the reasons why Catkins got beaten a little bit further than she did.
And Arabian Gold couldn't really fault it in the yard all that much, could it? It's just
she didn't. Yeah, but she didn't really jump out.
Didn't jump out. No.
So she looked a little bit plain, and she still has a fair whack of improvement. I thought that she'd look fitter than she did. And she hasn't.
Yeah, no, it's very easy in the betting. Yeah, anyway. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, from as far as she looked in the yard, she had trimmed down from what she had first up. You know, I mean, she was, as you said, she wasn't jumping out at you in the yard, but she's never been a horse that really jumps out at you in the yard.
No, not at all.
So, you know, she'd made the relevant improvement from first to second up, and I don't know, she's showing signs that she just might not be going for going.
Yeah, I mean, I'd give her
one more.
Warren. I'm willing to give her one more crack and see what happens there, because I still don't think she's looked rock hard fit yet.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Vashkar was looking rock hard fit.
Yeah, he finally looked good. He come back. He was a big first up, ran exceedingly well for how big he was, and he's made the steady improvement. He looked very well, ready to peak third up and got to run the suit.
That's absolutely right. Maybe a fraction of improvement, but we're splitting hairs in that.
Yeah, I think that's probably splitting hairs.
Looked in great order. God's in him. I didn't think he'd improved all that much from first to second up. I thought.
Well, he was one that I thought the Hawks team had. It was probably one of their best paraders they'd had when he was first up.
When he was first up, yes, exactly.
And he looked very close to the mark, and I thought he ran well conceding. And
yeah.
Ran a lot better than I thought he would.
Massine's been poking around for ages from that lovely stable you mentioned.
It's probably one of his better runs, and he's kind of just ticking along, but just don't know where he is this round.
No, Flamingo Star.
My mate, yeah,
you really liked. He looked in great order.
He looked exceptionally well. My only fear going into the race was that he might be a horse that wants further now. And from the review that I've heard, and Huey's got off, and I thought he had the best run in the race, and I thought he was just going to win, and he was disappointing. And I think they went a little bit slow, and then they sprinted, and I think he struggled to sprint with him. Huey's still wrapped in the horse apparently, and thinks he's going to improve big time, stepping up in trips. So
he was.
But that was the best he had looked. He has improvement still, but he was looking pretty close to the mark.
The Melbourne horse Akavurin paraded well, exactly how you probably expected second up. Still had a bit of improvement, but he was paraded better than he went. That's for sure. I thought. He's definitely performed. He's definitely performed under his SP or over his SP, whatever way you want to look at it.
Yeah, I thought he was rather disappointing. I thought it looked well without looking exceptional.
Yeah, but he's a nice style of a horse.
There's no excuses from him.
And from what I spoke with Warren, it was exactly from piecing it together. It was exactly, you're probably saying improved 2 lengths. Yeah. So again, he's been a horse that's done very well first up, and maybe that was a bit flat, especially with the trip in between.
I just wonder if it's just that Melbourne form coming to Sydney and not being strong enough as well.
It's very hard, isn't it? And apart from there, there's nothing really much else to say. And the last Music Magnate was one of the more interesting horses going into the meeting from a parade point of view. Paraded absolutely awfully, 2 runs back, still did a few things wrong, but was 1,000,000% better.
Those 1,000,000% better. He was... He's still getting a little bit on the toe, and he still wants to do a few things.
Oh yeah, he's still wrong. Put it this way: if you went down and you hadn't seen Music Magnate in context to what he was, you'd be looking and going, "How this horse is hopeless."
Yeah,
if you're just looking at him at that first time,
you weren't overly happy with him. No. He looks very fresh. He almost looks like a first up horse. Yeah. Still. One thing with that though, Bjorn had Hearns Oak, who was very like that, and it took him a while, but he did eventually get hold of him. So I think when he does get hold of him, he could have a serious horse on his hands.
Good project, was caught wide and. Sensationally backed.
Yeah, probably the run of the race.
And looked great again. Paraded fantastically first up, and it was a little bit against your Waller theory is when they go well first up, they often have a flat run. So his
run was huge.
Yeah,
it's not a 100%
no theory is.
Yeah, but it does tend to happen to some of those horses you don't expect to run well first up. But he's come back good. I think he's one that has definitely improved from last prep, and he could be just that slow, natural progression of the Waller stable. It could end up being quite a nice horse. Yeah, it's interesting to say that the ones that you don't expect to go first up. I think the second up bow, the second up drop, I really think comes down to what pain level you've got first up, and the more prepped you are, the less likely you are to be hurt. Yeah.
So it's like, you just bring it into context of if you're out there and you haven't done any physical activity for a while, you go first up, but you've got a lot more pain, residual pain. But if you've been building up to your first run, you've been going for a walk, then you've been going for a jog, then you've gradually, then you've gone there, it's not going to hurt as much. So yeah, the better prepped you are, the less likely of a second up flop. And the other horse in the Wine Tails, your old mate Wine Tails versus Better Mirror, the bet's still on. Just got too far back and
got too far back, wasn't overly suited. But the horse I did want to mention out of the race was Ballet Sweet. I thought she paraded well with still improvement.
Looks very free and moving well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So,
and she just got too far back out of that race and was hitting the line as good as anyone.
what are they looking at with that?
Next start. I did know this. There'll be another race in 2 weeks' time.
There'd be one of those awful
Mares
mares,
races,
1900 metre,
Something
2000
like
metre
that,
races
she'll
for
just
mares. Yeah, I'd imagine so. What else? If she keeps progressing like that, I tell you what to say, Chris. Well, I mean, Chris gets a lot of raps, but his horses are just consistently parading bang on every time, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're just looking exactly where they should be for where they're at, just about every run.
And he seems to just target all of them all at their right races. They're just there, they parade well. They're always in that right motion.
Paris Match was a horse that was interesting. Some people it got right out in the betting. Horse with some ability, to use your term, but looked like it would need the run.
Yeah, she looked like she needed the run. She's coming off a good break, and I think she'll improve.
Probably need even one more, won't it?
Yeah, most likely. The only thing, for most stables, I'd say yes, but one thing with Anthony, he can really learn the work in all them, so they can go from like first to fourth up.
Yeah,
like that.
fair enough. All right, mate. Well, that was the overview from the yard and a little bit extra for Rosehill we were at, and it's Epsom Day on Saturday.
And back to Rosehill Wednesday.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Rosehill Wednesday.
Is it?
Yeah, odd. It's good.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
6 metre rail.
All right. We're going to do a
Interesting to
punisher
see if
show.
they still get off the
Okay.
fence.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Well, all right. I thought it was at Canterbury. I was going to Canterbury. All right. Okay. Anyway, races are Wednesday, Rosehill. Good luck, and we'll be back with more videos. You'll have a feature interview hopefully on Tuesday.
Yep.
And Punisher on Wednesday. Thank you.